If you look at every single measurable metric of the Department of Education, they are a failed experiment. We used to be leading the world when it came to education, and now we are at the bottom of the list. And when you look at the alarmingly low literacy rates and math and science scores, it's humiliating to us as a country. And I think the common sense solution of that is to have the resources going back to the backyards of these students, going to the states, going to local supervision, so that we can figure out how we can be more hands-on with getting these kids the proper education that they need. Because right now, the Department of Education is just a glorified money laundering scheme, because they're taking all this money from the states, essentially cutting it in half, and then giving the scraps back over to the states and telling them to use it to push woke causes and vaccine information.
You know, Xavier, let's stick on that point, because public universities have been accused of choosing indoctrination over education. Last year, the advocacy organization Speech First found that 2/3 of major U.S. universities mandate college students must take DEI courses just to graduate. I mean, 6 out of 10 of them were public taxpayer-funded universities. So taxpayers are paying for like really crazy stuff happening inside U.S. universities. What's your take on DEI in public schools?
You know, I think it's horrifying. I think it should be the bottom of the barrel when it comes to our priorities. Why do we have our most elite minds and pupils that should be learning about actual, science and history and things that are going to continue to push our nation forward? Instead, they're learning about DEI and all these different woke mindsets. And it just shows, again, how much of a scam the Department of Education is. Their #1 financial priority is putting billions of dollars towards federal aid for these students so that they can go and be indoctrinated. And yet there's no accountability put on these universities who waste so much of that money on general ed courses that are just a scam to get the universities more enriched. And then in these DEI classes that, again, are teaching gender studies and all these racial classes that have nothing to do with anything relevant, it is all a scam. And this is why you have so many students in crippling debt or with degrees that they can't do anything with. It's because the Department of Education is failing them from the ages of 5 all the way through their upper education. It is out of control.